Welcome back to another episode of Theme Park Conductor. We have our two amazing special guests, Orange Grove 55 and Theme Park Wizard. Tonight, we have a bunch of topics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the new D23 rules that just came out yesterday. We're going to talk about what Daddy Josh is going to announce for D23. We're also going to talk about Orange Grove 55 and George the Italiano, what events they are going to be attending and watching in person, because they both are going to be there at the event. So anyone watching, if you guys are going to the event, definitely if you see them, say hello to these two amazing gentlemen. Also, we're going to check in with Wizard. He was at Universal Studios Hollywood today. We're going to see what type of updates he has for us, from the coaster to the hotel project. So everyone, I want to thank everyone for joining, and let's jump right into it. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
We are doing absolutely fantastic. I love that intro, man. Epic.
Oh,
love
yeah.
It is epic.
I have to build that suspense. Orange Grove 55, I'm going to start with you, sir. Where can everyone find you on social media, sir?
Yeah, Conductor, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a fun time being on Theme Park Conductor. Appreciate you, sir. You can find me on YouTube, Orange Grove 55. We're talking all about theme parks over there, mostly Disney, a little Universal. We dip into the studio side, talk about streaming. We get into music. We get into a lot of stuff over there, but check us out, Orange Grove 55. You can also catch me on Twitter at Orange Grove 55, and you can catch me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55.
Oh yeah, he's active on the Insta.
I'm active, super active.
Park Wizard, where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Park Wizard 1, the Instagram at Theme Park Wizard, I said Twitter, and YouTube at Theme Park Wizard, and I'm only 37 away from the 5,000. So subscribe.
Yes.
We're so close.
Absolutely, so close. And you both do absolutely amazing work for both Disney and Universal, Six Flags, all the theme parks. I want to thank both of you for coming on the show tonight. Our first topic we're going to dive right into is the new D23 rules that just got released last night. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go right into it. Basically, to give you guys kind of a leadway, basically what it's saying is, during the parks panel and also during any event, but mainly the parks panel, Disney came out. Oh, yeah. They came out and definitely thrown down the gavel and basically said there is going to be absolutely no filming, no photography whatsoever inside the parks panel or any panel for that matter. Orange Grove 55, I'm going to start with you, sir, because you and George are going to be there this weekend. What do you guys think about this?
No.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Sorry, OG. I want to shout out here to our good friends our terrible friends at Inside the Magic. Go back down. This is why they're horrible. Look at this headline. Disney heavily restricts access to theme park updates. General public blocked from D23. What a terrible headline. I just want to shout that out to other people because that's not true. Less general public park. That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
go back, OG.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well said, Wizard. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I think this is an interesting move by Disney to prevent live streaming. I think it's basically just kind of to control the messaging, essentially, because the information is still going to get out there. Like when they give us concept art or information on like Pandora or the Avengers e-ticket, Disney is still going to release that artwork, that information to like Variety and Hollywood Reporter and all these media outlets. So the information will still get out there, but they want it presented the way they want it presented, essentially. And that's why I think they're doing this move, which is interesting, which is kind of a weird thing though too, because from what we're hearing, the rumblings is that this D23 is going to blow the roof off. You know, this is the big one, right? We're going to get all this crazy information. It's in the Honda Center. You know, we're seeing, well, in my opinion, I mean, we're seeing this CEO race, right? Yeah. Daddy Josh is on that short list to become the next CEO. This is a big deal for Josh. He has to impress not only the fans, but investors as well, if he wants a real shot at that CEO spot. So this is a big thing. So all signs point to a big expo with a lot of announcements. So this is the time that they decide that they're not going to let people live stream, or they're not going to. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. The only thing I can think of is that they want to prevent. They want the message to get out there the way they want it to get out there. But another possibility is that we're getting attractions all based on IP. Obviously, right? That's the new thing. What if the Avengers e-ticket that we're getting, for example, has footage of MCU stuff that isn't public yet, that they don't want to be public yet? Something with the MCU and the storyline or what have you. Maybe they don't want, because I know with the studio panels, they're a lot pickier with like cameras and stuff. In 2019, I went to the studio panel and they made us put our phones in these like lock bags, right? Is it possible that maybe we're going to see some footage from the film side and in its connection basically to these attractions, and that's why they're preventing the live stream for the parks panel? I don't know. This is a theory, but we'll see.
Yeah. Theme Park Wizard, what do you think about this, sir?
Yeah, it is. It's quite interesting because, you think, because there's still some people out there like, it's in the Honda Center, so maybe they want to, kind of preserve the value, right? Then the counter to that is, Laker games are in arenas and Super Bowls in arenas, and people pay thousands of dollars for those, but those are also televised. So that's kind of weird. I don't think so there, but I think OG's right with the messaging, and it's at first I was upset, still am.
Yeah.
But if, like OG says, if they time kind of schedule Disney Park blog articles to come out right as the announcement happens in real time, then I'll be less upset because at least we'll get some official like the public will get to see the artwork too, just in a blog post, not on the live stream, because at least we still get the information out Disney's way and not on Monday but on Saturday night, and then I'll be totally okay. I'll be like, okay, that's fine. But I hope they do that. Hope they, again, like OG says, release the official art, maybe even if it's after the panel's over, just kind of do a massive blog post of, hey, this is what was announced at D23 today, then I'll be okay. Because it is kind of weird, Josh, this is his make or break moment, for CEO. Everyone's saying, oh my goodness, this has to be it, or else, you either show up or go home, basically. And you're restricting all the access. That's kind of weird. So, I do feel like it's about the messaging, and I just hope that they don't make people wait too long for it. Also, I don't know how, unless everyone has to give away their phone, I don't know how they will prevent someone some YouTuber from just live streaming anyway. And I know it says the policies can't, but it's 14,000 people. I don't know how they're going to restrict someone from taking out the phone, just live streaming anyway. Yeah. But it's interesting. I just hope that, and it does sound like they have a lot to announce with the permits and stuff being filed on both coasts. But I just hope they're not trying to hide that they don't have too much to announce. I hope not. I just hope it's not that route. I hope it's just control the messaging, not like, oh gosh, we have nothing to announce and we don't want anybody to see it type of thing. You know?
Exactly. And one of the things that I've said repeatedly on my Conductor Thursday live streams, what I've also said consistently on Orange Grove 55's channel nonstop, is that I wonder now, and it's starting to become a clearer picture, like you just mentioned, Wizard, if they're coming out and Daddy Josh has announcements, but a lot of it's going to be blue sky. And according to you, Orange Grove 55, you have a friend or someone you know that basically asked Daddy Josh right to his face, hey, what are we going to see at the event? And one of the first words out of his mouth was, we're going to have some blue sky, if not a good amount of blue sky. What if this media control by not allowing theme park fans, YouTubers, influencers to take photos, video? What if this is to eliminate that blue sky kind of resistance against?
Wait a second. So OG. So you said you had a friend.
Yeah,
asked Josh. Did she ask when she went up to him? Did she say Daddy Josh or just Josh?
I would hope she said Daddy Josh. The proper way to address Josh is Daddy Josh. No, what happened was she
asked him.
She did, straight up. This was back, I think, like in April, and she did the Adventures by Disney thing, and they had a tour of
April. It was like 2 months, April 2024, right?
Right, just a few months back. Yep. And she asked him. She said, "Hey, you know, we're hoping that we get some concrete stuff and not just a bunch of blue sky." And what he told her was that we are getting blue sky, but we're also getting a lot of the greenlit stuff. So he admitted to her that there is blue sky involved in this announcement. At least from a few months ago, that's what the plan was. But he also said that there is some green light. Yeah, he said straight up.
Straight up, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, he told her there's going to be some blue sky in there, and there's going to be some concrete stuff, but it'll be a mix. But here's the thing with the mix.
Hopefully it's like a 50-50 mix, not like a 75-25 type of mix. I hope.
Exactly, Wizard. And that's the whole thing, right? The issue isn't that people don't like the blue sky stuff. There's a place for it, right? But the issue is, like, if you don't announce anything big and all the big things are blue sky, that's the problem. So if we get a lot of Pandora stuff, we get a lot of like Avengers e-ticket stuff, we get a lot of like meat and potatoes, and then they're like, hey, on top of that, hey, we're thinking about a third park. This is a blue sky thing that we could do. I think people will be fine with that. But if
that's
it's like,
cool.
Yeah, that would be dope. But if it's just like all blue sky and then we get like some San Francisco level investment or something, that's BS. People are going to be furious, you know?
Yeah. If it's like, here's the Eastern Gateway parking garage, but then here's Avengers and here's Avatar, but we have like no idea when they start, then, you know, no bueno.
Right, no bueno, exactly. And then the other thing too that Josh has really, he dropped the ball too, because not only does he have to get up there and announce things and get people excited, but he also has to rebuild the trust, because with all the stuff going on, when they announced all this Epcot stuff, and then a lot of it got canceled, right? And I know there was a pandemic and stuff, to be fair, I get it, but a lot of it got canceled, a lot of it got changed. A lot of fans now, even if we get the art, even if we get the announcement, a lot of fans are going to question, yeah, but are we going to get it? Is it going to be the Mary Poppins thing all over again? Is this going to really happen?
Or the Main Street Theater.
Or the Main Street Theater. Exactly, Wizard. 100%. So he's got a hill to climb. He's got a hill to climb.
You know, it's so interesting, because I was on a video with you, OG, about a week ago. It was just me and you solo, because George is in Florida.
Right.
And one of the things we were talking about was the D23 and what Josh can announce. And it's interesting because we talked about how he has the perfect opportunity. Because think about it, the Eastern Gateway project, that's going to be at least a 3-year project. Maybe less, but probably 3 years minimum. You know, you got the Avengers e-ticket that they can easily build before the Olympics. Everyone's focus theme park wise is the Olympics at this point.
Right.
They're coming up with things they can bring to their parks before the Olympics. You got Six Flags building a new roller coaster. You got Knott's Berry Farm finishing Camp Snoopy, and I have seen some recent photos of that. They are fixing problems that were clearly not fixed when they opened the land roughly. Then you got Montezuma's Revenge getting rebuilt. In Disneyland, you got Tiana's Bayou Adventure coming. You got the Haunted Mansion that just reopened, and now the extended queues getting reworked. You got Critter Country getting rebuilt alongside with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We could possibly see something with Tomorrowland, which is a sketchy subject as it is. You got Downtown Disney with all the updates. So each theme park, even Universal with the roller coaster, and then possibly the hotel that's coming soon. We're going to talk to Wizard about that more extensively towards the end. So all these theme parks are doing stuff. The problem I see is with Disneyland right now, as it sits. If Josh wants a win, I would say, if I was him, hey, you need concrete evidence. Show us that you're making an attempt to build the Avengers E-ticket. Show us that you are putting construction walls up in Tomorrowland. Those are the two easiest things he can do to get fans that even start to even begin to trust him again, because the trust is broken.
It's broken. It's like the Kathleen Kennedy thing. When they announce a new Star Wars thing, fans are like, "Oh yeah, okay." It's like, yeah, whatever. We'll believe it when it premieres, basically.
And some even easier things you can do if they, because he said he's always said himself he has some concrete stuff to announce. Let's say he only has a lot of medium stuff and only one big thing, right?
Yeah.
The easiest thing, boy, at least for Disneyland, one policy update. Reservations gone. I mean that would be there. That's a simple thing. That's not building something. That still would be a win for. I feel like people will come out satisfied. They hear some medium things, one big thing, some blue sky, but some policy updates like that. Maybe Magical Express coming back, right? Some things like that. Those are easy things that don't take a lot of time. They're just policy shifters, and they can still give you wins if you really don't have either money to build something or whatever the case is. You can still get some wins without promising blue sky things all the time.
True.
That's a really smart way to go about it, Wizard. I really like that. You're right. You don't need, if you're short on cash, right, with the economy softening, things like that. They said that the next few quarters are going to be soft at the parks. So if you can't promise a lot of big things, do some of that stuff. Get rid of reservations. Get Magical Express back in there. Do some stuff that fans miss. They know fans love that stuff. They know fans will go nuts.
Especially the Magical Express.
Absolutely.
Florida, that would be amazing.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the way I see it too is, to bounce back on Wizard's point, the big question on that is, why is it that Walt Disney World, they got rid of their reservations a long time ago, and Disney is just hell bent on holding on? And I personally, I don't understand it. I don't.
That one I know.
Oh, you do know?
Oh, I have a 99% educated wish. You saw Deadpool and Wolverine. You know the reference.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, well, Disney World is all vacation based, tourist based mostly, right? So they can just it's easier for them because there's peak times. Disneyland's we're all locals mostly, so it's really crowded all the time. So the demand is there for reservations. If we took away the reservations, it would honestly be like in 2019, where the parks are packed. People come and hang out like it's a mall, and the parks are packed, and then lines would be super long, and then the parks would be at capacity. And they didn't really have to turn people away a lot, but they definitely got to actual capacity a lot more. It's because we're more of a locals resort park. I know there's a lot of debate on terminology on Twitter, but I'll say locals resort. That the reservations are needed here because it's just the way our traffic. That's why the Genie Plus thing, they even said it themselves. With the lightning lane change, we only got a name change here because in the blog post, Disney said it, the way they say something like the way guest purchase Lightning Lane is different in Disneyland, so we're just getting a name change. Versus Disney World, they have the whole planning and the 3 rides. Disneyland, again, it's kind of go in, ride a ride, a leave type of things. That's why it just got a name change. Same thing with the reservations, and that's why they got rid of them. They're able to get rid of them over in Disney World versus Disneyland.
Yeah, I think you're right on, Wizard. And I remember reading articles back in the day, like from Al Lutz, talking about how Disney was really concerned about like the influx of annual pass holders. They were called annual pass holders back then, and they really wanted to mitigate this. And they were kind of kicking around ideas like years and years and years ago.
That's when the Flex Pass came. Remember, that was the first pass of the reservations back in 2019 before COVID was even existed.
Exactly.
Which I must say, I did like the Flex Pass because it was only $600, and it gave you no blockout days. You just had to make reservations. But that one was okay because it's a mix. You can either choose that pass with the reservations or choose another one with no reservations. I wish they go back to that because I feel like that was a good idea.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. A lot of people miss that one. A lot of people miss that,
Yeah. Because for me, I think it was like 3 reservations, but that's like perfect for me because I don't go every week. But 3 times a month is good enough for me. $600. Well, it'll be much more now, but over 600 at the time, loved it.
Hey, to be fair, and I know it goes back and forth from Universal to Disney. Disney gets a lot of crap. OG, you talk about it all the time on your channel. You and George. But Wizard, with all of us filming updates and whatnot, if you go 3 times a month, even twice a month, you'll get one update and it might last the entire month or a couple months, and then you'll go back a couple months later and then a new update will show up. But again, Universal has that same problem as well. So they're not innocent on that one. I wanted to ask you guys, since I have it on the screen, Inside the Magic, this is their D23 announcement wish list. What do you guys think about this wish list? I'm going to start with you, OG.
Okay, so we'll start with the first thing. Update on new Marvel e-ticket ride. Okay, so the Avengers e-ticket is what we call it, right? So although maybe it will be a Marvel ride. Maybe it won't be Avengers. Who knows? But
who knows? It's changed 5 times, so probably could be.
Exactly. Why not? Try something new, right? Why not? But I think that we will. I think we will.
Be an X-Men ride after all. Who knows?
Oh, that would be kind of sick, actually. That'd be kind of cool. But I think we will. Scott Gustin actually was on a podcast recently, and he was talking about he sounded pretty for sure when it came to the Avengers ride. We're going to get something on it. If we don't get anything on the Avengers ride, I think it's safe to say it's officially dead and buried. I mean, we have to get something about it at this expo, and not just something. Like the last couple times, we just got one piece of art.
Yeah, we literally got something, but I mean like a date or something. Because keep in mind, it was first teased in May 25th, 2017.
Oh yeah,
2017. When the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, when they had the Avengers belt like on the side, teasing an Avengers campus, Avengers land coming, Avengers e-tickets. So it was 7 years ago. Wait, no, 7 years ago. So we're due for like something.
Exactly.
We're due for something, yeah. Because then we got one piece of art, I think, at the 2017 Expo, and then we got a different piece of art like a couple years ago when Chapek was running the show, like a CEO. Like we need some art. We need to know like what the ride system is.
You can have with all the art, you can make a mini museum.
I know.
Museum.
Exactly.
You could have like a Wonderground gallery just for all the Avengers e-ticket stuff.
You know where you could put it? Star Wars launch bay in Tomorrowland.
There you go. That's perfect. Now we joke, but this might actually be the most true thing that we predict.
Same. Yeah, since the DVC thing took over the Blue Sky seller. That's another stuff. Before we continue, that confused me. Why did the DVC okay, you want to put a DVC lounge? Get it.
Yeah.
I want to Disneyland. Plenty of empty theaters in Hollywoodland for that, but whatever. You want to put a DVC lounge in California? Why put it in the place where you used to show off new stuff when Disneyland 4 just got approved? And you have the biggest D23. Where are you gonna you literally? That's the venue that you should post the Avatar model or something, or Tiana's can go in there. So why is the DVC lounge? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No, you're right. You just approved Disneyland Forward, right? and you have all this land now. It's exciting. You know, we're Pandora's coming to Disneyland, or some version of it. All this stuff we're assuming is going to get announced at D23. You have a perfect venue for that, for all these new projects, and you give it to DVC. It's
like what the heck?
It makes no sense.
Especially like I said, because there are like countless number of empty stages in Hollywood land that never get used. Why not put that stuff in there? Like,
right.
You know, it's something that's, again, it's a waste of space in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, I agree with you both. It shouldn't have stayed the Blue Sky Cellar. It should have. What they should have done is just kept it exactly the same. Maybe change it up where, depending on how can I put it? Depending on your magic key, right? Depending on your magic key, you can go in there and look at the concept art of what Disneyland Forward has to offer. And this is coming off from the expo, but you can see it in person. I don't know why they felt like they needed to do another DVC lounge, because, you know, now you have that one. Then you have the one in what's in Hollywood Studio, or not? Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard. What's that room that the library?
Yeah.
Oh, the animation, something.
The Beast Library.
Yeah,
the Beast Library.
Oh, yeah, there's some classroom or something. You know? Yeah, again, there's so many other. I don't get it.
And then you have
that's a nice spot.
Yeah, you have the Tomorrowland one inside Star Wars Launch Bay. Then they spent all this money building a whole tower to DVC. It's like, how much more DVC do you guys
Well, that
want?
part's okay, because that's outside the park. So I think the DVC tower looks nice over there. But
yeah, but the point I'm trying to get at is, it almost seems like they're trying to force it on people.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna try and increase memberships. I mean, there's even that DVC member thing by the ticket booths. It's been there for a while. That little thing in the plaza.
Well, then they put Big Al over there by the DVC kiosk at DCA. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because I text you, OG, the day I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, is Country Bear Jamboree coming back to Disneyland? I'm like,
only if you're a DVC member.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, it'll be the Country Bear DVC Jamboree.
Star Wars Launch Bay.
Right. But here's the thing with the Country Bears. I think there's a chance that we get something with Country Bears, just because they redid the Magic Kingdom Country Bears, right? Mm-hmm. You know, there's a possibility when they went in there with those animatronics and what have you, that, you know, they built a couple extras for California. Mm-hmm. We're seeing them really push this franchise for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but Country Bears they're getting a big push, you know, like at Magic Kingdom.
Of the Hungry Bear, right? Yeah, Hungry Bear Jamboree.
Exactly. The Hungry Bear is getting rethemed to Country Bear. We got the Big Al over at DCA. I don't think it's out of the question that we get something Country Bears based on everything we're seeing. You know, so
well, let me ask you guys this before we go to your guys' wish list on what you guys want to see from the D23 event. Do you guys think the easiest thing, if they were going to bring the Country Bears back, is to reskin the water attraction DCA Grizzly Peak?
Yeah, that'd be great. And it'd be pretty simple. They just have to add a couple of animatronics. It looks beautiful the way it is now. Just add some animatronics, like in the cave and maybe on the last section. Boom. Add some houses, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You just throw a couple of animatronic bears in there, you know. Now, not only do you have animatronics, but now you have a soundtrack for that attraction. Now you got music on there.
Exactly.
See,
and I feel like that'd be super cheap. It wouldn't get as much controversy as Splash Mountain or Tiana's, because you're not even doing anything, because you're just literally, because it looks beautiful. So you're just adding an IP list thing to an IP list thing.
Exactly. So a attraction that was not IP based from the get now becomes IP based, and it's one of the better IPs to go in, and you don't have to change much.
Exactly. It's kind of a win-win, you know. So that would be the smart money would be on that. If they wanted to bring country bears to Disneyland Resort, that's what I would do personally, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And imagine the lift till, because it's like a long lift till
Oh,
right on Grizzly River Run. You can do like some cool stuff with the country bears on that, like some cool theming and stuff, like so the music.
heck
When you go up there, I feel like that'd be it's like a blank canvas basically for them.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point, Wizard, because they have that one part in Tiana's, like the first like lift where you have Tiana off to the side. Yeah, have a little something like that. You just have a couple of bears along the way, you know.
Absolutely. You know, I wanted to ask you guys before we get to the wish list, because now I thought of something else. You know, with Critter Country being closed, getting completely reworked, all that stuff. You know, we've talked about it. Wizard, I've seen your videos. You've talked about it. OG, you and George have talked about it. Me and you have talked about it. I think everyone at this point has talked about it. You know, they're reworking it. They're running all this conduit. We've all seen evidence of it on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere, especially David from Fresh Baked. He's on top of that. He's like the GOAT of Disneyland when it comes to live action updates. You know, by them doing that, obviously they're trying to get ready for Disneyland Forward. We've talked about it.
Only accessible to DVC members.
Yeah, exactly. And we've speculated, even Hey Bricky, who's been on your channel now twice, OG55. Again, the guy has a brilliant mind when it comes to Disneyland and just complete engineering background. You know, he speculated when we all saw it that Arendelle was going to go behind Critter Country. You and George both feel, and I'm sure Theme Park Wizard, you feel the same way, that Arendelle should not go behind there. It should be somewhere in Fantasyland. But my question to you is, if they were going to move it to Fantasyland, wouldn't they have to tear apart half of Tomorrowland to put that in there?
Yeah, you would have to do, the only way you could really fit in Arendelle, like a decent Arendelle, you would have to get rid of like the lagoon and like the motorboat area and like Autopia and all that stuff, and then rework the monorail track. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Daddy Josh is gonna have to pull out his checkbook. You know what I'm saying on that one. that just to even get started on it, it's gonna be a lot. So, but ideally that's where it should go. I think, because if you put it over there in Disneyland Forward's expansion over there in like with the Stitch parking lot or whatever it's called, it just feels like another Fantasyland to me. It feels redundant, in my opinion.
I can see that.
It feels out of place.
Yeah, you know, so you know, we'll see. But yeah, I think that would be not the greatest move if they were to do that.
No,
it can go there as long as I believe it belongs there for sure. I just hope, like again, it would be a decent Arendelle on it. I just hope that they would leave the Matterhorn alone. You know, don't make that Olaf's Wandering Sleighs, or just keep it the Matterhorn. You know, I feel like they would be too close and they'd be too tempted. That should scare me.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
You know,
it
because they just, like I said, I think, wasn't it like a rumor once a while back they're gonna stick North Mountain on the top of the Matterhorn to the side of the Matterhorn or something?
Don't do that.
You know. I'd scare me. It's a good spot, but it just scared me because I feel like they just they couldn't shield their eyes to the Matterhorn, and they
exactly
touch it.
And I kind of feel like the Matterhorn Mountain is so tall, putting Arendelle behind that would kind of just like make it even more awkward than it being in behind Critter Country. Because now you got this giant mountain you're staring at, and OG, you've talked about sight lines with world and the Comcast building.
Right,
you definitely have some sightline problems if that's literally right behind.
Although that would be a much nicer sight line. Mountain with a Matterhorn. actually quite a gorgeous sightline.
Yeah, it would fit the theme a lot. It would fit the theme. It would be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be like, to your point though, Conductor, there would be maybe not so much a sightline issue, but a scale issue would be more of the concern, I think, because it's so big, you know, like you would have to really adjust the heights of all those Arendelle buildings to kind of match it and make it look okay. So.
Absolutely. And then one thing I want to take away from your video, OG, that I saw earlier today was you and George were talking about possibly if they were going to bring Zootopia. Okay. Yeah. But, you know, you two, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about putting it in the Stitch parking lot, not putting Arendelle there. Was that something that...
Oh, I have a perfect spot for Zootopia.
Well, so do I.
That was George's idea to see, like, what if it went over there? Ideally, personally, what I would want it to go, I would want to replace Hollywoodland.
Yes.
Yes,
because
that's the spot.
There it is, exactly. Because then you can even keep the trolley, because it's, you know, it's in a cityscape environment. You can keep the trolley. You just bulldoze everything else and you just make it Zootopia. Yeah. You can even add some LA landmarks, you know.
Exactly. That would be, you know, continuing the theme, but what you've said, OG, in multiple videos, how they're keeping, you know, because you did that video about people responding to the California themes being lost, right? But no, you said they're they're just doing it through a Disney lens, right? So Hollywoodland and Grizzly Peak are like the only two real lands that they don't have that Disney lens yet. So Country Bears can go on Grizzly Peak, Zootopia for Hollywoodland, and then almost every land in Hollywood, California Metro would be redone, looking beautiful, but through a Disney lens and be more popular. So I think that's perfect idea.
Yeah, it's a great spot for it, you know. And if you expand out into that bus load unload area, you could probably fit a nice attraction in there, whether it's the same e-ticket that they have over in Shanghai or something different. It might be something different because, you know, we're getting a sequel to this movie, so there might be a different storyline they want to go with, you know.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. And we also talked about, you know, the Avatar, you know, Pandora going in the Simba lot, which is directly behind. Is it behind the roller coaster?
It's like next to it.
Okay.
Like across the street, but next to it.
Okay, so next to it. So me and OG were talking about this. So, you know, because the Eastern Gateway, like I said, is probably going to take about 3 years to build. That's just almost a guaranteed fact. But if they were building Avatar, that whole parking area, Avatar is not going to take all of it. It should be shoved kind of in the back corner where it could be built, but that area could still be used for parking. But at the same time, you're also building a new land, so that way it's not taking too much away from parking. You know what I mean?
Like a slow transition, kind of like piecemeal. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because me and you talked about it. You know how they can possibly do that.
Yeah, well, and I think the Simba lot's a great spot for Avatar because it's kind of like a blank slate for them to kind of do their thing over there. Exactly. Yeah, there were rumors that it could go into Hollywoodland, but I think Hollywoodland's a lot more work to get that done, you know?
And it's too small.
Yeah, it seems pretty small.
Yeah, my opinion. So
those are one of those things. Again, back to Josh tomorrow and winning.
Yeah.
If they just, because it is the blank slate, so if that was like the one thing they just started construction on, or even put a wall up before D23.
Yeah.
Now talk about gaining the trust. There you go. The wall's up. Even though they just didn't do anything, it just faked it and put the wall up before D23.
Yeah.
It shows that they're like ready to go, like soon, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. These are things they can do. It wouldn't be, like, to Wizard's point, it wouldn't be that difficult for them to have a lot of wins here. You know, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, he should be able to figure this out, Daddy Josh, and get this done. So we'll see, you know, but there's a lot of little things he can do, like he said, with the construction wall, or, like, you know, getting rid of, or, you know, reservations, or the magical. There's a lot of things you can do here to really get those wins. So if we walk away from this expo really disappointed, like the last one,
Yeah.
That's a complete and total failure on Josh's part, in my opinion.
Oh,
And I think he's not
I was
suited.
telling someone, I said he should be fired Monday if that would happen. Okay.
I would agree with you, Wizard. I think that this is the final chance. I think fans would be furious. I think investors would be frustrated. I think you don't want this guy being CEO if he can't make a decision with the parks.
No.
It's
But see, almost like a marionette puppet. Obviously Josh is the puppet. Is Bob Iger even? Do we even know for a fact that Bob Iger is just basically telling Josh tomorrow, hey, do whatever you feel is best. This is your opportunity. You're on the short list for my position. Go wild. Or is he putting a restriction on him?
Well, here's the thing with Iger, right? When he was CEO the first time,
yeah,
he did a lot of good things for the parks,
sure.
Right? So we had DCA 2.0, right, with Cars Land, World of Color. That was amazing. Buena Vista Street. We had the Avatar, the first Pandora. There was a lot of good stuff on his watch, even Galaxy's Edge. I know entertainment there is weak, but the land itself is pretty dope. We got a great ride with Rise of the Resistance. So Iger, at least the first time he was CEO, Iger 1.0, right? He understood the balance between the money, the green lighting, and the creative and all that stuff. He seemed to knock it out of the park quite a few times. He got a lot of home runs. So I trust Bob Iger with the parks more than I trust Daddy Josh. I can point to things and go, look, you know what? Iger has when he was CEO, he did a lot of great things. I can't really point to any big wins that Josh has done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of like, I feel like the issues we're having is more of a Josh thing.
Okay.
Than an Iger thing, because Iger, he didn't have any issues before, so I don't know why he would have issues now. I mean, I know the financials maybe are different a little bit.
Even Chapek, when he was Parks chairman, he's got a lot of stuff through Chapek, good or bad. It still got things,
Exactly. When Chapek would announce something,
Avengers, Pixar, Pier got a whole bunch of stuff through Chapek. So
true.
Can't be a Chapek thing.
Yeah, it can't be. You can only blame Chapek for so long, and Chapek's been gone now for a few years. So it's like, I think there's an issue with Josh. So this is the final straw for him. Like if he doesn't deliver this expo, I think he's toast. I think he loses the CEO gig, and I think fans abandon him completely. Like we're already this close already. He's got to come through.
Well, not to mention OG, but we might see on the Channel 7 News, George the Italiano goes wild at D23 Expo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly, dude.
Gotta give the credit to OG over here. Him and George were the first people to start kind of calling out Josh a few years or a year or two ago. When they realized that he wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Wizard. Yeah, no, we were saying this for a few years now, where it's just like, he's a good looking dude, and I'm sure he's really fun to hang out with, I'm sure he's great to have a beer with, but he just hasn't done anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. So definitely this weekend is his time to either shine or get out. That is basically the bottom line. He has to perform, or you know what? Just tell Iger, hey, fans hated me at the expo. I'm done. I'll stay parks, chairman, whatever, but I'm not taking your.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But one thing I want to pivot to, and this is from Universal. I want to pivot to you, Wizard, since you got about 15 minutes or so before you have to leave. You were at Universal today. What did you see?
Let's see. I saw some construction walls around the Samba location. Yes. I saw the Hello Kitty cafe being built. And then I saw a roller coaster. I saw supports for a roller coaster being built. Super cool, including a very tall one. It was taller than, very tall. I'm trying to figure out how tall. Is it? Maybe it's the half the size of Mount Beanpole. It's very tall.
Interesting. Interesting.
How come Conductor looks frozen?
Are you frozen, Conductor? Uh-oh. Did we lose our host? Did we lose our host? Uh-oh. Wizard. We're running the show right now, bro.
Oh, God.
We lost our host.
D23 wish list. We never got to finish. Okay, well, I think everything on the Inside the Magic thing was pretty kind of spot on, except for maybe Figment. I don't know about Figment, but I think the rest of the thing were pretty spot on with that. I'm sure we'll get Avatar stuff. Sure, we'll get oh, of course, we had to get Tropical America stuff. There's some permits for that, and the other, I forgot what was on the list, but the list looked pretty spot on. Seems pretty funny. I feel like everyone's been saying the same thing, so I feel like if we don't get whatever everyone else has been saying, they'll be very disappointed. So
yeah, tropical. I agree completely. The Tropical America is pretty much a sure bet. They already have the construction staging area over there and stuff.
Yeah,
which would include the Indiana Jones re-theme of Dinosaur. We'll see if we get Beyond Big Thunder or if we're going to get more blue sky on that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I would hope that though, since Tropical America this is a sure bet. They go like a deeper dive, right? Some more concept art, maybe explain what the attractions are. Conductor, yeah, blank screen there.
Yeah, but you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Like I'm speaking to a ghost.
Going weird on me. Yeah, it's the curse of talking about Daddy Josh.
I'm telling you, bro. He knows, man. He's. Oh, dude, I got a drop for that. Hold on, I got a drop for that. Daddy Josh. What you gonna do? He's listening.
Absolutely.
All right, so Conductor, let me repeat. So yeah, I saw the Samba Cafe walls, the Hello Kitty Cafe walls, and then some very tall supports for the Fast and Furious roller coaster, as well as a curved piece of track sitting there.
He did.
Here we go. There.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the Samba location.
Yes.
This is it right here.
Now, I still think this would be a perfect spot for a nightclub. Boy, oh boy, there's an outdoor dance area, and this is be some nightlight. OG will tell you. He said he used to go and club back and city walk back in the day.
Yeah.
So, I think I should bring some of that back. They have an outdoor dance for if you zoom in, they look close. They have speakers there and string lights. That easily can be an outdoor dance floor. So I don't know what's coming over there, but I'm fingers crossed for some type of nightlife. And I feel like with the hotel there coming, it provides an opportunity for some nightlife because people can go right back to the room, go to sleep. So,
oh yeah, is that what they're gonna do after the club? They're gonna go to sleep with her? Are you sure about that?
Oh, not if it's George.
I know. You know what I'm saying? Are you still with us, Conductor?
George will stop off at the 7-Eleven down the street and get some sriracha sauce and go right back to his room.
God. Hey, but not if they're serving Swedish meatballs. He's not going anywhere.
No,
not.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with Wizard though. This would be a prime location for some sort of nightclub, kind of something a little different. They haven't had something like that at City Walk for a while. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. One thing I was looking at, because I feel like they're going to kind of take some restaurant ideas from Orlando City Walk. One of them was, what was it? Cowfish was one of the restaurants. Another one was kind of like a steak restaurant, or they can turn this into a version of Red Coconut Club, which I wouldn't be opposed to either. What do you think about that?
Pretty cool. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I want a Red Coconut Club because it feels. I kind of feel like they what do you call it? They decorate for every season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Red Coconut Club would go very well with Kamala Harris's campaign because coconut meat.
There you go, right?
So these are photos courtesy of you, Wizard. What are we looking at here? You took these today.
Actually, that's not me. Someone stole my photo. Just kidding. That's me. We got well, we got the big tracker on the top, the launch track there with the good old launch fins, and then right behind, right just on the top of that platform is the curved piece of track that's laying on the ground, and it's right there. That super cool. That'll be installed somewhere on the main course. Potentially is the first turn. On the real ground there, we got a lot of rebar for a lot of those foundations. All those concrete things are foundations for eventual supports. And a lovely commenter of mine a long time ago told me those wooden boxes on the top of each of those, it means they're complete, but OSHA requires that so construction workers don't trip over because there's like a little like an attachment. So I guess if construction workers somehow I don't know why they walk over them, but if I guess they walk over them, and it's so they don't trip and fall. So whenever you see those wooden boxes, that means that one is complete and just waiting for a black support. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But also look at this, all the way to the very left. Look how close that foundation and eventual support will be to the stairs. You can almost touch it. Like if you're long enough, I don't have arm long enough, but you can actually almost touch it, which is crazy to me.
That is well, isn't the track is supposed to go around, like loop around the what they call that? The
starway. Yeah, it's supposed to go over and under, and so you can like almost touch the track. Well, not the track, but the supports, which would be like insane. It's like boom, it's like right there.
Right there it is, right there. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think for coaster fans, this is going to be something that's just incredible. I think that this is really going to put Universal on the map with coaster fanatics, because this is first of all, it's a crazy concept, like the crazy ride system. It's kind of like Cosmic Rewind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going around
the time on that one.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, that was amazing. You know? Yeah, exactly. My blood pressure is still high from that ride.
Still recovering.
I'm still recovering. But I think that like with the ride system, as crazy as it is, right, as fast as it goes, and you're going to be doing crazy stuff like going around the Starway and things like that, I think people are going to love this thing. I really do. If you're into those kind of rides, this is going to be out of control, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it'll be really pretty to look at, too.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, these footers here, these are new. These just got
those are new. Those are those still have yet to have concrete poured on them. So they just put those up of the last few days.
You know, I wanted to ask you, Wizard, because you know just as well as I do, if not better than anyone else that covers Universal at the moment. Do you think we can see the inversion piece that's going to go over the Starway be installed before September the 5th, before Horror Nights? Or do you think it's going to be after Horror Nights?
I don't know. There's a very specific time. I do know that I from a construction friend that's supposed to be painting the station, and from another person, they said all the tracks should be in and done by November of this year. So by November, you'll see the piece up because all the tracks should be done by then.
Yeah.
By September, that's less than a month. Probably not, but definitely by November.
Gotcha. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Wizard, also, quote me if I'm wrong, but your buddy that was part of the creative campus and now is part of Fast and Furious going to be painting the show building. Weren't you saying on one of your videos that the Simpsons land is going to be next on the agenda, or is it going to be something else?
I think, it'll be after Fast and Furious. I think that one's next. It's supposed to close by 2027, the ride, but the land may close a little or get themed a little earlier. I don't know what it would be, but by 2027, that ride should be closing.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, because we kind of saw on Haunted Mansion, the quote Disney for a second, we saw on the Haunted Mansion ride that there was an Easter egg to Krusty the Clown on one of the Jack in the Box boxes. Do you think, with the Olympics being in LA in 2028, the fact that you said they want to start slowly closing down the land, which would mean that Universal would be down an attraction and multiple dining locations and shopping locations, do you think there's a slim possibility they might negotiate with Disney to extend that contract another year and close the land in 2029 to have the park at full capacity?
Oh no, I don't think so, because um, the ride itself is really struggling. So I don't know if it can last that long. One, and then two, I don't think they. You said I don't think it wouldn't be again. That's if they. It would be like a phase thing. I feel like it wouldn't something like retheming the restaurants. It may not require them to close down. I feel like it could literally just be like new paint, right? And then maybe stir up the same stuff. So I don't think that it would be like a full close down type of thing. And also Universal changes their minds every 10 seconds. So who knows? But I don't think they'll renew the contract. I'm sure Disney would want a lot of money to do that. And I'm sure Universal doesn't want to pay back the Hulu money to Disney. So,
yeah, exactly. Right. You were checking right, me, you check right back, right?
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll just let them go, especially because it's funny. I mean, you're right. I mean, the Krusty Clown was a little in Haunted Mansion. They covered him up, but he was there, which was kind of curious because I never thought I'd see a Simpsons character in a Disney park, which makes me curious. I wonder if they would have introduced a walk around character or something like in 2029, like in California Adventure, they should have a walk around Bart. That'd be kind of funny. Kind of interesting. I wonder how people would like that. I feel like they would hate it, but I feel like it'd be kind of interesting. I don't know.
The quote your point, it would be a new character for the Halloween event. Make it Treehouse of Horrors.
Oh, like for that, I wouldn't mind that. Or you could do like if you did like Simpsons in like that kind of like in that kind of way. Like if you do like Simpsons for like Oogie Boogie Bash, that would work. I think what I'm saying that would be kind of cool, But I wanted to ask real quick.
So you don't want to see Bart walking around New Orleans Square?
No, I think I'll pass on that one. Absolutely. I want to ask you because we had the Krusty like homage or whatever, right? In the Haunted Mansion. I was talking to Conductor about it, and you know more about Universal, so you might be able to speak on this better than I could. Is it possible that they had to remove the Krusty because of the Universal has the Simpsons theme park rights? Maybe Disney put that in there not realizing it, and they got legal heat for it and had to remove it because technically Universal has those rights.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was talking to some people and looking at some forums and discussion about it, and it seems since they have those theme park rights still until 2028, I think they kind of quickly removed it because I think they didn't have a potential legal issue there with Krusty. But it's just funny that they put them in there anyway. Like, I wonder who did that. Like maybe it was like Imagineer or like who decided to do that. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, I think it was a legal thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you guys think like Small World example, right? Has the nods Disney characters and then has Japan's have the Marvel characters. Yeah. Do you think like after 2028? Do you think that's a potential idea? Do you think Disney would insert Krusty the Clown into Small World? Because like I said, I never thought he would appear in any of Simpsons film, and especially a classic attraction like Haunted Mansion. I know it's holiday version, but do you think it's a possibility?
Oh man, well, Conductor, I'm sorry, you broke out.
No. I was gonna say it's more impossible. Hell, like you guys said, the Japan version has Marvel characters. We have a crazy lunatic that jumps in our Small World and runs around half naked. So you know what? Anything's possible.
Yeah, for me personally, like for example, right? Like Haunted Mansion Holiday, it's a seasonal thing. The Krusty was kind of stylized in that Nightmare Before Christmas style. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? If you go in there with Krusty the Clown in Small World, There better be a really good justification. Like it has to be. First of all, it would have to be a seasonal thing. I wouldn't want any permanent crusty anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, so a seasonal crusty is fine, but you'd have to make it fit the attraction and stuff. I think what they did, the way they handled it with Haunted Mansion, I think was cool. It fit the style, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I was still shocked. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah,
I wonder
what
this Disney version of Springfield would look like.
Oh God. I don't know if I want to even think about that. I think if Daddy Josh wants to win, just allow him to come during the Halloween event at DCA and then call it a day.
Yeah, like Treehouse of Horror, stuff like that for like a Oogie Boogie Bash. I think it's fantastic. A fantastic use of the Simpsons franchise, right? And at DCA, I think that's a park you can kind of get away with them, you know?
Yeah.
Anywhere in Disneyland, I would not be in for that. You know, that would just be too much for me personally. So, it would have to be DCA.
All right, guys. I had to kill a spider. All right.
Oh, no worries. You're a murderer. Oh my God.
It was like half the size of my hand. It was kind of big.
You know, speaking of spiders, real quick, crazy story. We were talking a few years ago. We were talking, a buddy of mine. We were talking to a team lead over at the Rise of the Resistance, right, over at Disneyland. And the lead was really cool, really talkative though. But we were talking, and I guess he was part of the opening day team for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And he said that they imported all these trees from around the world to be put into this land, right?
Yeah.
He said the crazy thing though, when they imported these trees, a lot of the spiders from the home country were still in the trees, dude.
Oh gosh.
Like crazy spiders though. Like not like Daddy Longlegs.
Because you don't know which ones are poisonous from what countries, you know. That's crazy.
It's crazy. He said they had a huge problem with all these exotic spiders and stuff that were in the trees. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I never would have thought of that. Welcome back, Conductor.
I wonder what they say. What countries some of them came from? I'm curious what countries they got those trees from.
Oh God, you're making me cringe because I can only imagine. I've seen them online.
I just hope it's not an Australian spider because those are pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're I don't even want to get into it. Makes my
Conductor's gonna leave us.
No,
like, you guys are crazy. I'm out of here.
No. You know, I wanted to ask you, Wizard, and I wanted to ask you, OG, since we're talking about Universal. You know, Wizard, me and you have gone back and forth on Discord, on Twitter, on YouTube. You know, obviously, you know, there were plans for another Nintendo property that got scrapped, but they are looking at a Nintendo property, just not the one I'm thinking of. How can I put it? Do you think we would possibly in the future get another Nintendo property, or do you think we're going to get another Harry Potter property added to Hollywood's park? What do you think about that?
Oh, I think we'll get both. I don't know when. It'll be a long time from now. I don't know which one will come first, but I think we'll get both.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because Nintendo, I mean, well, in terms of Nintendo, they have endless material to work with. Because you can, I mean, the IP with Nintendo, you can do so much. You can do Luigi's Mansion, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, Metroid. And the cool thing about Nintendo as well is it's a diversity of IP. Like it's all very different stuff, you know?
Yeah, so. No, absolutely. And me and you, OG, on the last video me and you did, I think it was like a couple of days ago, we talked about the new Harry Potter land in Epic Universe, how the excitement was not even close or not even matching up to Dark Universe.
Right.
And the fact that they used Fantastic Beasts, that type of movie for the outside of the land. Like what you see aesthetically. And, you know, me and you were talking, we're like, well, you know, obviously they have the Ministry of Magic, which is based off Harry Potter. Okay. Right. But it's something where you have to literally go inside a building to see. And the problem is the Fantastic Beasts movie series really didn't do Warner Brothers any justice. Do you think that was a big mistake by them doing that?
What, putting a Fantastic Beasts in Epic Universe?
Well, that, but making Fantastic Beasts the focal point of the land instead of reversing it.
Well, from what I understand, Wizard, it's the Fantastic Beasts is mostly the entry when you walk in, right? It's that Paris section.
Yeah, so the reason why it's Fantastic Beasts because a long time ago, like even before like I think the last movie came out, it was like a long time ago, decently long time ago. And actually, Alicia Stella said this in the chats when I was talking with her about it. Universal made a contract and already signed a contract like years ago with Warner Brothers that this has to be a Fantastic Beasts land, no matter how the movie's performed. So they were kind of contractually obligated to make a Fantastic Beasts land, and it was apparently always going to be a Ministry of Magic. The ride they didn't like. It was going to be the original Harry Potter crew and Fantastic Beasts. They just wanted to show off a different version of the Wizarding World, which is why you'll be going basically all of it is Paris. The shows based off in Paris. There's be the cafes and stuff. There'll be upgraded wand experiences and a whole bunch of little animatronic features around. But then you'll take the little Flu network and go to the British Ministry of Magic, and there'll probably be like a thing, like most of the Harry Potter attractions, where if you don't want to ride the ride, you'll probably be able to do like Forbidden Journey, the castle walk type of thing. You can go see the queue in the Ministry, and then just exit if you don't want to ride the ride, like at Forbidden Journey. So I think that's probably how they'll handle some of that over there.
Yeah, I think, and to answer your question too, Conductor, do I think it's a mistake? I don't think so, just because I think Wizarding World in general is an interesting world to be a part of. Like, it's like, for example, right? You don't have to like Avatar as a franchise to enjoy Pandora over at Animal Kingdom.
Or Cars Land.
Or Cars Land, exactly. You don't like the Cars movies, but Cars Land's still fun. I think the same could be said about Fantastic Beasts. I think that the movies, a lot of people didn't like the movies, but I think the aesthetics and the environment you're in is cool enough that I think it's okay. Like, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to hinder the popularity at all,
Yeah, same. I think, same. Now, there's only one little hiccup, and that is stupid fool. I don't know if I can curse on here, but stupid fool J.K. Rowling, who just keeps opening her mouth.
Yeah.
Some people I know there's some people that like lands but do not want to like support her, so they're like walking it, but it may not like buy something. So that could be a potential issue. People just don't want. They can walk in it, but maybe they don't want to buy a wand, or maybe they don't want to buy a merch because they don't want to support J.K. Rowling. And I totally get it. She's an asshole. But so that's kind of a unique thing that I guess all Harry Potter lands may have. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be just fine. It looks great. I can't wait to explore Paris. I've been to Paris, so I'll be comparing. And they are like little 5-story buildings, so that'd be pretty cool. It's like instead of flying 12 hours, I'll be flying, or 9 hours, I'll be flying 5 hours to walk into Paris. Then I'll go to Epcot and walk over Paris again. Double Paris.
You get double Paris. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, Wizard, when your first time. That'll be interesting.
I know. I'm so excited.
You gotta definitely do a live stream right when you walk into the gates.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Gonna be, I'm gonna need like all the chargers because I'm gonna have like no phone back. This will be great.
Exactly.
I'll be so overstimulated.
Oh, without a doubt. The last thing I wanted to ask you, Wizard, is the hotel. Did you see did you see any new evidence of the hotel markings in the parking lot? Because I know when you did your last live stream, you saw evidence of it, or you might have saw evidence of it.
Yeah, so it turns out, I guess that was an old marking, but there was a new permit filed a couple days ago for a substantial conformance review, and those are that's the last step right there before it can actually begin construction. I do have some cool new info on the hotel. I've heard as of yesterday they want to open by late 2026. So it would have to start. It's going to start pretty soon. So you have a 2-year time build, and it's going to look like Universal Beijing's hotel, but instead of Art Deco, it's more like Spanish architecture. So you know that Spanish architecture they have in the front with the arch and the Universal Steel store and stuff like that. Yeah, that type of architecture will be what the hotel looks like. Instead of Beijing's Art Deco version, this will be like a same height and everything, the same luxury, but just a Spanish style version, which should fit very well with the front of the park, which would be pretty cool.
No, absolutely, and we've all talked about it. How Universal it needs this hotel. It really does. You know, they're heading in the right direction, and the way how I could say it is, they're heading in the right direction by building the Fast and Furious roller coaster. Then you got the hotel, which is in final preparations before they actually start physical construction. Then they're talking about, you know, moving on to the Simpsons land and completely gunning that out and putting something new. Then, you know, then you're talking about, you know, moving the studio tour load and unload behind the Mummy Show building. Then there's speculation about the Falls Lake area again used as theme park expansion. I mentioned this from a buddy of mine. I haven't seen him at the parks lately, but he was a security guard who usually would be on that overlook where we a lot of times take pictures and do our live streams from, covering the coaster. He would be there early in the morning. We're talking maybe 4 in the morning or so, to let construction workers in and out of the site, you know, letting trucks come in and out of the theme park. The last time I talked to him, Universal, alongside building the hotel, they were going to start enclosing City Walk, which means that security is going to get moved to the parking structures. And one thing that I talked to OG about on his last video, where it was just me and him, was that, like Disney, for example, they're looking at removing a lot of the ticket booths in the plaza, because they're not used anymore. Just, they're vacant buildings. They're in the way. They're no use for them anymore, because people use them. You know, people get their tickets and everything else on their phones. There's no reason for it. And I want to ask you, Wizard, do you think they're going to get rid of some of our ticket booths at Universal because they're not used?
I don't think so, because quite contrary to Disneyland's, Universal's lines are usually full with those ticket booths. Every time I go, there's usually a lot of people for whatever reason. Maybe they're getting an annual pass, whatever they're doing, but the lines are pretty full at most of those ticket booths, especially during horror nights and stuff. Those lines like stretch out of the queue, so I feel like they definitely do get a fair amount of use. Actually, my friend had to actually go to the ticket booth he had an issue with this ticket, so they do get a fair amount of use. So I think they'll keep those for here. But yeah, unlike Disneyland's, they don't have a lot of there's like no one there.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a waste of space. You know, one thing I wanted to bring up was, you know, about the hotel. Do you think, Wizard, we can start seeing construction after Horror Nights, or do you think they're just going to wait until January, where it's kind of like dead in between, you know, events and holidays and all that stuff, to start it? Because you're talking.
It has to start this year. So I don't know if it's after Horror Nights or before Horror Nights, but it'll start this year. Make its 2026 opening date, because it needs 2 full years. So it'll be like late 2026.
That's very true. And OG, I don't know if you went to the park yourself when they were building the Simpsons land, you know, with all the construction walls and all that, where it was a tight alleyway, as Berkey likes to call it. He likes to call it hallways. Do you think we could see that type of situation at the entrance gates where security is? Because just because they start the construction for the hotel does not mean they're going to move security right away.
No, they'll probably do some creative finagling. Like I know for DCA, when we got the 2.0, and they redid the whole entrance to DCA.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of like, it was like a maze getting in the park and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they had you going at one point, they had you go around and like behind California Soarin' and enter through there. Like, that space right between Soarin' and like the Grizzly, the airplane that's sitting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had us actually entering the park through there at one point,
Lord.
So, and this was like back in like the early 2000s. I mean, early like 2010s. But like, so I think Universal might do stuff like that, where they kind of like they funnel you around like through these like construction mazes, basically, to get you in. So,
okay. The last thing I want to bring up to you, Wizard, since I'm going to call you the GOAT of getting permits for the theme parks. I'm going to call you the absolute GOAT. Do you think, because a lot of people have complained about how people enter the gates, and what I mean by that, like the entrance gates with the whole fingerprint scanner, do you think Universal is going to eventually file a permit to remove those and do something more efficient?
I don't know. I don't think so. At least not for a while. At least I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So probably not.
Well, would you like to see them do that? Because I know lines can get really backed up, and a lot of times when people, including myself, it's happened to me as well. When I've gone to scan my annual pass, they still ask for my thumbprint, and I give my thumbprint. The problem is sometimes the scanner just does not want to work right away. It could take like a full minute or two for it to recognize.
Oh yeah, I wish all the parks go to facial recognition. That's just my wish for every park. But Disney, yeah, but in Universal maybe in the future. But or get that at California Adventure and Disneyland first. So I'm excited to use it there.
OG, what do you think?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. The facial recognition thing is interesting. It seems like Wizard, what you were saying is true though. Like it seems like they're updating the DCA side.
Yeah.
Like first, right, with all this stuff. So if we get any new tech, it'll be on that side first, I think. At least for at Disneyland Resort. I'm not as privy to the Universal stuff though. Although with Universal, they are doing the with Epic Universe, right, Wizard? They're changing how you
facial. Yeah, they have facial all over Orlando. They have the Universal or the facial recognition right now. The two parks, there'll be an upgraded version in the Epic Universe park.
Okay. Okay, it's interesting you bring that up, Wizard, because the way I look at it is that's how Disneyland and DCA is getting started, because the Walt Disney World and even Disney Paris, they have the facial recognition and the easy access into the gates, and now we're seeing results of the Disneyland Resort and DCA gates getting retrofitted to those systems. So it makes me wonder if Universal Orlando, all of its theme parks are using that technology already, and Epic Universe is getting an updated version of that. It makes me wonder if Hollywood is going to get that eventually. It's just not on the table at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure sometime down the line.
Okay. Well, again, it's definitely a bright future. It's definitely a scary weekend for all of us this weekend at D23. Now that we can't, take pictures, video, but like Wizard said early on, there's going to be 14,000 people inside the Honda Center. You can't tell me they're going to have enough chauffeurs to catch every single person, taking a picture or a video clip or something, unless they're asking people for their phones right before they're entering.
Yeah, and I don't know the logistics, but I know when I went to the studio panel in 2019, we had to put our phones into a lock bag.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can you can hang on to it. Like you can keep the bag with you, but you have to lock it in there. So it's possible that they do something like that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy that they're doing it this way though. It makes me wonder like maybe with the parks thing, like I said, that maybe there's some footage from the films they don't want to get leaked out or something. That's a possibility, but I don't know. It's strange.
It's kind of interesting you mentioned that, because it's like if they were going to talk about the parks, why would movies even be included on something like that? You would think that would be a separate panel altogether, and the movies panel, which future movies would be coming out, they would show previews of it. That would only strictly be the media. That wouldn't be, like, an average guest event. That would be a private event for media only.
You would think, but if they're doing stuff like the Avengers e-ticket and things like that, there might be footage from the MCU or something that we shouldn't be seeing yet, and so they'll show the people in attendance, like they do when they preview a lot of movie stuff. They show the people there, but then 3 and 4 months can go by before everyone else sees that trailer or that teaser. There might be elements in this parks panel with footage from movies or shows that they don't want the general public to have access to. That's a possibility. I have no idea if that's even what it is. I think the more likely scenario is just they want to control the narrative, control the messaging. I think that's the most likely. But I'm just throwing another option out there that there might be footage from stuff like, for example, Zootopia. If we get a Zootopia over at DCA, just by chance, right? They announced Zootopia, but it's based on the second movie. And they show footage from the second movie that ties into the new land that we're getting at DCA. I can see why they don't want you to have your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think stuff like that might be an issue,
Oh, I absolutely agree. Wizard, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I said earlier, I agree with all that. We'll just have to see on Saturday.
Yeah, I do want to speculate on something, because as I was reading stories online, apparently the event is going to allow some cast members to take photos and videos, but I don't know.
There'll be a link for the live stream for the cast members.
But see, my problem becomes also what is going to stop them from leaking it, because there's plenty of ways they can leak that stuff and not be traced back to them. There's plenty of ways for that.
Well, it'll all be leaked at again, I'm sure they'll have like a Disney Parks blog post or something,
right,
as the stuff comes up. So they're probably trying to control the narrative.
Yeah,
and it'll come out. All the stuff will come out in like 10 seconds or an hour after it ends anyway. So I just hope, like I said, I don't care how it gets out. I just hope it's good stuff. That's all that really matters.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's really the I agree with you, Wizard. If they do that, like if they don't let us live stream, right? There's no live stream to the event, but like the announcements are immediately posted with the artwork and all that, like on social media and all that. It doesn't really matter. I don't think. Yeah, people don't really need to see like Josh presenting the information. Like no one cares, like.
And I bet you, no one would complain if they do exactly that. Just okay, you can't see it, but here's a blog post, artwork. Avengers starting 2025. Get ready, Avengers are happening. Okay, starting 2026. Blah, blah, blah. Then they'll be like, awesome, cool stuff. Dinosaurs closing Labor Day. Boom, done. Stuff like that. They'd be happy.
But see, here's your thing though. Just like you just said, Wizard, if Josh, if his media, or if the Walt Disney Company's media team puts that stuff out there and they start getting into too much detail where they're saying, oh, well, this is the timeline, this is the date, this is, and they don't deliver on that, it makes Josh even look worse than when he started. So
the alternative is not good either. That means they'd say it and not say anything. No, we want the dates, and whether you start on them or not, we'll deal with that later. But usually when they give a date, I've never thought of a time when Disney gives a date and they don't like actually start on the actual date. Like they usually like Splash Mountain closing date, they close on that date, right? They
Bugs Land.
Bugs Land. If they give a date on something. Critter Country closed July 8th. Haunted Mansion opened on time. So usually when they give a date, that means it's pretty final. That means they usually got it. So I'm not worried about that. Like I'll feel actually more confidence in Josh when I again get those dates, because I'm like, okay, he's gonna start. I believe starting out because here's the date.
Right. And even if we get something like, for example, of the Avengers e-ticket, here's the artwork, this is what we're getting, and it'll open spring of 20 28 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You don't even have to give me an exact date. You just give me the
just
year and the month, or
something.
the year and the
Like,
season. Yeah.
Even if you say we'll start in 2025, okay, great. At least I know when it's gonna start.
Exactly.
You know,
And
like
go
like
ahead.
Splash Mountain, right? Splash. We still don't know Tiana's thing, right? But late 2024. I do know it'll be late 2024. I had see it's August, so I have between now and December, basically. I'm expecting it. I'm not expecting it sooner or later. Because I know that by December 31st, 2024, I'll be writing Tiana's. And that's so, we're not picky people. Some people like, oh my gosh, these crazy, these theme park fans, but we're not that crazy. You just give us like an actual season. Doesn't have to be we're opening at 10 a.m. on September 31st or something.
Yeah. Or Daddy Josh, Daddy Josh, you cannot get up there though and say that the ride will open February 31st. We will not accept that as a month. So don't even think about it.
That is not a date.
Hey, Fantasyland it is, as long as you're a DVC member.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh man.
Oh God. Oh man. What a my whole thing is I agree with you both. I think if they come right out and right after the event, they release all this concept, they release, images, video clips, I'll be satisfied. At least we feel like we got information. If they take days on end to put it out there, it kind of makes me feel like they're going to have to, it makes me feel inside like they're scrubbing, they're scrubbing through it, trying to figure out where they screwed up at and then release it.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll be there. I'll be at the parks panel with the Italiano, right?
Yeah.
If they don't release any art, but they show us, when I get back, I'll have a big marker board behind me. I'll draw it for you.
Perfect.
I'll draw the whole thing for you. This is what it looks like. Here we go.
I'll be down for that.
There we go.
But no, I want to thank you both for being on this live on this video. It was really important that we talk about this because it's something that D23 is implementing for the first time that I know of, not allowing fans to take pictures or video of the parks panel, maybe even other panels, who knows, but definitely the parks panel. I want to thank both of you as well for commenting on what we could see with D23, what we could see with the theme parks out here domestically between Walt Disney World and Disneyland, talking about Universal, talking about the hotel, talking about some updates with Wizard. It's always great to have you guys on. I want to wish you the best, OG, you and George, at the event. I'm sure you're going to run into a bunch of fans there. They're going to be super glad to see you guys. Don't get stampeded if the D23, if the parks panel goes sideways. Don't
go sideways. I know, man. The mean streets of Anaheim. You never know, bro. You never know.
Yeah, they're not too thrilled about Disneyland Forward. You can only imagine if Josh flops on the parks panel.
Right? Exactly.
Oh, God. But OG, I'm going to start with you, sir. Where can everyone find you on social media, sir?
Yeah, no, thanks, Conductor. It's a good time, and thank you, Wizard. Really fun to get back in shop talking to Mr. Theme Park Wizard.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. You can find me on YouTube, Orange Grove 55. We talk all about theme parks, Disney mostly, but we do dip into some Universal. We also do studio stuff, streaming, all that good stuff over there. Orange Grove 55 on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter, or X as they call it, at Orange Grove 55, and you can find me on Instagram, showing all my cleavage on Instagram, the booty shots, no, I'm just kidding. No, you can find me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55. I'm not as active on there, but I'm trying to get a little more active on there. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And down below, take it away, Mr. Wizard.
You can find me on Twitter, ParkWizard1, on theme_park_wizard on Instagram, and then on YouTube. I'm now only 35. That's right, gained 2 during this video. 35 subscribers away from 5,000 on Theme Park Wizard.
And you forgot one thing, Wizard. You forgot one thing. Have a fantastic day.
Have a fantastic day.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That was awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for being on the channel. We're definitely going to have you both on very soon. OG, again, I'm going to try my best to maybe get all four of us maybe on your channel, or do a review of the parks panel and really dive deep on what you and George thought about the parks panel, because you guys are going to be there in person without cameras and video equipment, so you're going to get raw and straight on. So
exactly.
Really
that sounded kind of dirty, bro.
Hey, I had to throw it in there. It was for George.
Exactly. That was perfect, dude. That was perfect. He'd be proud. He'd be proud for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I want to thank you both. I want to thank everyone for watching. You can find me, Theme Park Conductor, on Twitter, YouTube at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Twitter at Theme Conductor, Instagram, Theme Park Conductor. And tomorrow we are doing a live Conductor Thursday live stream with the one and only Universal High. We are going to talk deep and dark and down in the depths about Universal Hollywood, what his idea and future plans for the resort may or may not be. For me, I've been watching him on Twitter like crazy. Somehow he's finding these retro clips from the early days of Universal, so I'm definitely going to pick his brain about that and find out where he's getting all this, because I haven't seen that stuff since I was 5 years old. So it's definitely
Flintstones.
Oh God, yeah, it's definitely something very interesting. I'm super excited to have him on the show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Definitely don't miss it. And again, everyone have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Be kind to one another, and stay cool out there, because we're all burning up out here in SoCal. I don't know about everywhere else, but we're burning up here. So stay cool, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.